In South Korea, survival and flavor share the same jar. From red pastes that burn with time to sauces that grow richer as they age, the Korean pantry is a world where food never dies. It evolves. Born from long winters, war, and faith in fermentation, every grain and drop was crafted to endure. Have you ever wondered how South Koreans thrive through harsh seasons and modern crises without ever running out of food? For centuries, they've perfected the art of preservation, not with cans or instant meals, but with living flavors that grow stronger, not older. From fiery pepper paste to seaweed that outlasts storms, these 20 timeless foods reveal how Korea turns survival into flavor and time into an ingredient. It glows like molten fire, thick, red, and alive. This is Gochujang, Korea's legendary chili paste that never truly expires. It only matures. Centuries ago, when chili first arrived from distant lands, Korean farmers faced a challenge: how to make heat last through bitter winters. Their answer became an art form. Crushed red peppers were mixed with fermented soybeans, glutinous rice, and sea salt, then sealed in ongi, breathable clay jars half buried in the ground. Those jars were left to the elements, surviving frost, rain, and blazing sun. Inside, time worked its quiet magic. The paste darkened, thickened, and began to breathe. What started as simple ingredients transformed into something living, sweet, spicy, and deep with umami. Fermentation was its secret of immortality. Microbes fed and grew, creating flavor from patience. The longer it aged, the more complex it became, never spoiling, only evolving. To Koreans, gochujang is more than food. It's family, strength, and memory sealed in clay. It stirs into soups, coats rice, and fuels entire generations with its steady burn. Every spoonful tastes like endurance, bold, grounded, alive. Even today, families still keep their jars in courtyards, sun-warmed and waiting. The paste ripens as they do, quietly aging with them. And while gochujang burns bright with spice, another paste rests beside it, darker, earthier, born not from fire, but from silence and time. In a quiet Korean courtyard, clay jars sit beneath the sun, breathing, aging, alive. Inside them, something miraculous happens. Beans turn into a paste that can outlast generations. This is Doenjang, Korea's ancient fermented soybean paste, a food that never dies, it only deepens. Its story began centuries ago when farmers sought a way to preserve protein through long, freezing winters. After harvest, soybeans were boiled, mashed, and shaped into bricks called meju. Hung from straw ropes, the blocks dried in open air, kissed by wind, sunlight, and the microbes that lived on the rice fields. When ready, they were submerged in salt water and sealed inside ongi jars to rest through the seasons. Fermentation became its secret of survival. The natural bacteria within the straw transformed the soybeans slowly, layer by layer. The longer they aged, the darker and richer they grew, salty, earthy, and full of umami. These living cultures guarded the paste from decay, making doenjang last for decades without spoiling. To Koreans, doenjang is more than food. It's a living archive of patience and tradition. It anchors stews, restores strength, and connects generations through one taste of the earth. But where doenjang stands still and solid, another flavor flows, sharp, dark, and liquid as time itself. It looks like liquid night, dark, glimmering, and endless. A single drop of Ganjang, Korean soy sauce, can awaken an entire meal. But what's hidden in that darkness is a story of survival older than most empires. When ancient Koreans began fermenting soybeans into doenjang, they noticed something strange. A clear, salty liquid formed above the paste, sharp, fragrant, and full of flavor. Instead of discarding it, they collected it, aged it, and discovered it grew stronger, smoother, and richer with time. That liquid became Ganjang, the soul of Korean cooking. Its preservation secret lies in balance. Salt prevents spoilage, while fermentation continues quietly, deepening its umami and complexity year after year. The longer it rests in clay jars, the more alive it becomes, never rotting, only evolving. Some families still guard jars passed down for generations, each with its own unique taste shaped by air, hands, and team. To Koreans, Ganjang is not just seasoning, it's memory distilled. It binds flavors the way history binds people, connecting stews, sauces, and stories across centuries. And where Ganjang flows like shadow, a brighter fire waits nearby, red, dry, and ready to spark the next flavor revolution. A single handful of crimson flakes, bright as embers, light as air. This is Gochugaru, the fire that changed Korea forever. Centuries ago, Korea's food was pale, seasoned with salt, soy, and patience, but never heat. Then, sometime in the late 16th century, red chili peppers arrived from across the seas. At first, they were strange, even feared. But when ground and dried beneath the Korean sun, something miraculous happened. The peppers lost their sharp bite and became sweet, smoky, and vibrant, a spice made for this land. Gochugaru's secret lies in the drying. Sunlight and wind draw out the moisture, but leave behind color, oil, and aroma. Without water, decay cannot win. Only flavor remains. Stored in jars or cloth bags that can last for years. Its scent unchanged. Its fire eternal. More than a spice, Gochugaru became a revolution. It turned white cabbage into red kimchi, bland broth into bold stew, and Korean cuisine into something unmistakable. Fiery, alive, and fearless. Even today, every kitchen keeps it close. The heartbeat of the Korean pantry glowing quietly in its jar. But where Gochugaru burns bright and dry, another treasure glistens in the dark. Liquid gold pressed from seeds, carrying warmth in every drop. A single drop catches the light like molten amber. Fragrant, nutty, eternal. This is sesame oil, Korea's golden essence, pressed from seeds so small yet powerful enough to preserve history itself. Centuries ago, when animal fat spoiled in heat and grains withered in storage, Koreans turned to sesame, a crop that could survive drought, wind, and time. The seeds were roasted over slow flames until their aroma filled the air, then crushed between stones. From their hearts flowed oil, pure, rich, and resistant to decay. Its preservation secret lies in purity. Dehydrated and sealed, it carries no water for bacteria to feed on. Natural antioxidants protect it from rot. Left in dark jars, it ages like wine, its flavor deepening, not fading. In every home, temple, and royal kitchen, sesame oil became the final touch. Brushed over rice, drizzled on soup, whispered onto vegetables like a blessing. Its warmth you can taste, memory you can smell. Even today, one drop transforms a meal into comfort, turning ordinary food into nostalgia. It connects families through generations, aroma passing from grandmother's hand to grandchild's bowl. And when the golden stream stills, silence returns, broken only by the rustle of something paper-thin and black, harvested from the sea's breath and dried beneath the morning sun. It crackles like old parchment, black as night but alive with the scent of the ocean. This is dried seaweed, a food so ancient it has fed Korea since before history learned to write. At dawn, coastal families wade into icy tides, gathering sheets of seaweed clinging to rocks. Washed in seawater and laid beneath the open sky, it dries under sunlight and salt wind. No machines, no fire, only time. Within days, the seaweed turns crisp, weightless, eternal. Its preservation secret is nature's simplicity. With almost no fat or moisture, it defies decay. Salt protects it, wind perfects it, and sunlight seals it in armor. Packed tightly, it can last for years, retaining its ocean scent and umami strength. In Korean life, seaweed is more than food. It's ritual. Mothers eat it after childbirth for healing. Families share it on birthdays to bring longevity. It's served to guests as a quiet act of care, a reminder that nourishment can come from even the humblest wave. Today, it remains the taste of home, toasted, rolled, or crumbled into rice. Its flavor whispers of tides and time, of balance between sea and sky. And as the waves withdraw, something tiny glitters on shore, small, pale seeds waiting to release their own golden miracle. They look ordinary, pale specks scattered by the handful, yet within them lies the secret of Korea's oldest flavor. Sesame seeds, small but eternal, are the quiet survivors of every season. Harvested at summer's end, they're dried beneath sunlight until every drop of moisture disappears. Dehydration makes them nearly immortal. The tiny shells protect natural oils within, while their density wards off decay. Stored in earthen jars, they wait patiently, unchanged for years. This endurance made them vital to Korean life. When other crops failed, sesame remained, a seed that promised both nourishment and trade. Ground, roasted, or whole, it gave meals fragrance, texture, and life. No celebration was complete without it, no hardship without its comfort. Its preservation secret is balance, dry enough to survive time, rich enough to feed the body. Even centuries ago, it was currency, medicine, and offering, the grain of hope in every kitchen. Today, sesame seeds are still scattered across dishes as symbols of fortune and harmony. Their crunch carries memory, a whisper of fire, soil, and patience. And as the last seed rolls off the plate, the air shifts, carrying the scent of salt, smoke, and the small silver bodies drying under the sun. They shimmer like silver coins scattered by the tide, tiny, fragile, but everlasting. These are dried anchovies, the humble backbone of Korean flavor. For generations, coastal families turned abundance into endurance. When the sea overflowed with anchovies, they layered them in salt and laid them on straw mats to dry beneath open wind. The salt drew out moisture. The sun finished the work. Days later, the fish were feather-light and eternal. Their preservation secret lies in nature's partnership, salt as shield, wind as healer, sun as fire. With no water left to spoil, the anchovies could last for years, their essence waiting to awaken in boiling broth. In Korean homes, they are the first step of every meal. Simmered gently, they transform water into comfort, the deep umami base for soups and stews. To many, that scent means home itself. Even now, grandmothers hang strings of them near kitchen windows, glinting in morning light like charms of fortune and endurance. They remind Koreans that greatness often begins in silence, in what's small, patient, and perfectly preserved. But from the scent of the sea rises something wilder. Jars that breathe, vegetables reborn, and time itself turning into flavor. It bubbles softly in its jar, alive with fire and time. Kimchi isn't just a side dish. It's the heartbeat of Korea, a living memory that never dies. Centuries ago, before refrigeration and long before spice, Korean families faced brutal winters. Vegetables would rot. Hunger would come. Then they discovered fermentation, nature's quiet miracle. Cabbages, radish, and greens were salted, spiced with red pepper, garlic, and ginger, then sealed in clay jars and buried underground. As snow fell, the earth kept them alive. Inside, invisible life began to work, turning sour into savory, crisp into eternal. Lactic acid preserved the vegetables perfectly. Their flavor deepened day by day. What began as survival became art. Its preservation secret lies in harmony. Salt, time, and air balance so precisely that rot becomes renewal. Kimchi never truly expires. It transforms. Today, no meal is complete without it. It's served at weddings, funerals, and breakfasts alike, a symbol of resilience, community, and pride. Each jar tastes of its maker, of the season, of the land. And as the jar exhales a sharp tang of life, another waits beside it, dry, earthy, and growing richer in the dark. They look like carved wood, wrinkled, brown, almost fossilized, yet soak them in water and they awaken, soft, fragrant, reborn. These are dried shiitake mushrooms, Korea's secret ingredient of eternity. In ancient villages, mushrooms were a rare treasure. Farmers gathered them after rain, knowing they spoiled fast. To save them, they sliced and spread them beneath the mountain sun. In days, they turned light and leathery, asleep but not dead. Their preservation secret lies in stillness. By drying, every drop of moisture, every chance for decay, is gone. Yet inside remains the soul of umami. Months, even years later, they return to life the moment they touch water, releasing an aroma deep as earth and soft as smoke. Dried shiitakes became a bridge between seasons, the taste of forest in the heart of winter. They flavor temple stews, royal feasts, and humble rice alike. For monks, they're purity. For chefs, perfection. Today, they remain a pantry essential, proof that flavor doesn't fade, it waits. And from mountain air to ocean brine, the next treasure breathes differently, salty, potent, alive, and untamed. It smells of the sea, sharp and ancient, jiot, Korea's salted, fermented seafood, is the ocean preserved in a jar. Fishermen learned early that what spoils fast can also last forever. Shrimp, anchovies, oysters, and mixed with coarse salt and sealed tight, began to transform. Days became weeks, and inside those jars, time performed its magic. Fermentation drew out liquid, mellowed sharpness, and built flavor so deep it became the foundation of Korean seasoning. The salt protected the seafood. Natural enzymes changed it into a living sauce that could last for years without rotting. Its preservation secret is balance. Just enough salt to guard life, just enough time to make it sing. Jiot powers kimchi, enriches soups, and sharpens stews. For coastal families, it was wealth. For inland farmers, a taste of the unreachable sea. Even today, every household keeps at least one jar. Sharp, strong, eternal. Its flavor turned memory, a taste of the coast that never fades. But from these salty depths emerges something pale, dry, and ghost-like, a fish reborn through wind and frost. It hangs from wooden racks under the northern wind, pale gold, feather light, whispering as it sways. This is bugu, dried pollock, the spirit of winter itself. In the frozen north, where fresh food once vanished for months, fishermen discovered salvation in cold air. Pollock, caught in icy seas, was hung outdoors to freeze, thaw, and freeze again. Each cycle drew out moisture and deepened flavor. The result? A fish that could last years without a hint of spoilage. Its preservation secret lies in nature's rhythm, the perfect marriage of frost, air, and patience. No salt, no smoke, only wind's steady hand. When rehydrated, it returns soft and fragrant, a taste both clean and ancient. Koreans boil it into hangover soups, stir-fry it for warmth, or tear it by hand as a simple snack, dry, sweet, and strong. Bugo is more than food, it's endurance embodied. It taught generations that the harshest winters create the purest strength. And as the wind stills over the empty racks, another vessel waits nearby, filled not with fish or flesh, but with liquid gold brewed for balance and celebration. It glows like liquid moonlight, pale gold, clear, and endlessly calm. This is Cheongju, Korea's rice wine, a drink that refuses to die. Centuries ago, monks and farmers sought a way to turn grain into spirit, sustenance into celebration. Steamed rice met nuruk, a living starter of wild yeast and mold, inside clay jars. Then the waiting began. Weeks turned to months, the mixture quietly bubbling, transforming starch into sweetness, grain into clarity. Its secret lies in fermentation's perfect balance. Alcohol is nature's own preservative, shielding the brew from decay while deepening aroma and flavor. Properly sealed, it can rest for years, growing smoother, brighter, more fragrant with time. Cheongju isn't just a drink, it's a ritual. It blesses weddings, honors ancestors, soothes winter nights. One sip tastes of patience. One jar holds generations of craft. And when the last drop catches the light, the sound of boiling returns, not from a brew, but from a pot where comfort lives in powder and steam. Tear open the lid, pour hot water, and within moments, warmth. But packaged soups aren't just modern convenience. They're echoes of old resilience. During war and famine, Koreans learned to dry what they had. Beef broth, seaweed, soybean paste, pressing them into compact bricks of survival. When the instant food age arrived, that wisdom simply modernized. Powdered stocks and dehydrated vegetables followed the same ancient rule: remove moisture, and time surrenders. Their preservation secret is science learned from tradition, freeze-drying and salt-sealing every bit of flavor inside. No rot, no waste, just life waiting for heat to wake it. Today, packaged soups fill shelves and backpacks alike. Students, soldiers, travelers all share the same ritual: boiling water, rising steam, the taste of home in a paper cup. They're the comfort of generations distilled into minutes. And when the steam fades, something green and forgotten appears. Leaves, once fresh, now dry, still strong enough to feed another winter. They hang from rafters like faded ribbons, rough brown, whispering in the breeze. This is siraigi, dried radish greens, proof that even scraps can outlive seasons. Long ago, farmers refused to waste what the earth gave. After harvesting radishes, they gathered the greens, boiled them lightly, then dried them under the sun. The leaves shriveled, darkened, and stiffened, yet held their strength. Their preservation secret lies in simplicity. Boiling kills enzymes, drying removes moisture, and sunlight seals their flavor. Once packed away, they can last for years, revived in minutes with hot broth or water. Siragi's taste is earthy, humble, and deeply Korean, the flavor of perseverance. It turns plain soups rich, adds depth to stews, and reminds eaters that nothing in nature is wasted. Even today, elders hang them each autumn, watching green fade to brown, knowing it will return again when snow falls. And from these humble leaves, the story turns to powder, soft, pale, and powerful enough to thicken both broth and memory. It looks like dust, feels like silk, yet holds the strength of centuries. Bean starch and soybean powder, the quiet backbone of Korea's kitchen, have no fear of time. Made by soaking, grinding, and filtering beans, the liquid is dried into fine powder under low heat. Every drop of moisture is erased, leaving behind pure protein and starch. Weightless, eternal. Its preservation secret is absolute dryness. With no water, bacteria cannot breathe. Kept cool and sealed, it lasts for decades, ready to become noodles, porridges, or desserts in an instant. For centuries, these powders fed soldiers, monks, and farmers alike, light to carry, rich to eat. In lean years, they were survival. In good years, delicacy. Today, they're still used to coat sweets, thicken sauces, and give body to feasts. To touch it is to feel abundance disguised as simplicity, nourishment stored as air. And as the last grain drifts through your fingers, something white and glimmering waits nearby. Not dust this time, but the grain that built a nation. You know that saying that Asians are synonymous with rice? Each grain glints like pearl dust, silent, steady, eternal. White rice is more than food in Korea. It's survival, polished to perfection. Centuries ago, it was treasure. Farmers harvested rice by hand, drying it beneath sun and wind before milling away its husk. What remained was purity. Dense starch sealed in a natural armor. When kept dry, that armor became eternal. Its preservation secret lies in simplicity. No oil to spoil, no moisture to breed decay. Sealed against humidity, white rice can last for decades, waiting patiently to spring back to life at the touch of water and flame. For generations, it filled granaries, temples, and royal stores. In famine, it meant hope. In peace, it meant gratitude. Even today, families keep sacks of it not just for hunger, but for comfort. The quiet assurance that food is always near. It is the rhythm of Korean life, the grain that outlasts hardship, the beginning and the end of every meal. And as the pot's last grain settles into silence, something sweeter stirs, golden, sticky, and glistening like sunlight trapped in syrup. It glows like amber glass, slow and eternal. Mulyot, Korean corn syrup, is sweetness that time can't touch. Long before modern sugar-filled shelves, Koreans made sweetness from grain. Barley, corn, or rice was cooked, filtered, and simmered for hours until it thickened into syrup. Pure, viscous, and self-preserving. Its secret lies in chemistry. With almost no water left, microbes can't survive. Mulyot's density, sugar content, and mild acidity guard it for years, even decades. Stored in glass or earthen jars, it never spoils, only darkens, growing deeper in flavor. In Korean kitchens, it sweetens and preserves. Brushed over fried dishes for shine, poured into sauces for balance, drizzled over rice cakes like liquid light. It's more than sugar. It's patience distilled. Even today, mothers reach for the same slow sweetness their ancestors stirred over open fires, a taste that binds the old and the new. And from this golden stillness rises a sharper scent, clear, crisp, and alive with tang, waiting in a bottle that cleanses both food and time. It's clear as glass, yet carries the power to preserve worlds. Rice vinegar, soft, sharp, eternal, is Korea's quiet guardian of freshness. Born from rice wine left to breathe too long, Vinegar is time transformed into purity. When air meets alcohol, natural bacteria awaken, turning sweetness into acid, a miracle that both flavors and protects. Its preservation secret lies in its very nature. Acid repels decay. Bacteria die, but flavor lives. Stored properly, rice vinegar never spoils. It simply mellows, its sharpness smoothing into grace. For centuries, Koreans used it to clean, pickle, and heal. It kept vegetables bright, fish safe, and spirits strong. It's the balance point in every sauce, where sour meets calm, where life is renewed. Even now, a splash of it turns simple rice into celebration, and raw ingredients into meals that can outlast time itself. But beyond vinegar's clarity lies warmth. Not sharp, not sour, but sweet and red, like fruit that refuses to fade. They look like small, wrinkled hearts. Dark red, soft, eternal jujubes or dried Korean dates are sweetness preserved by air and time. For thousands of years, Koreans gathered them in autumn, drying the fruit beneath the sun until the skin wrinkled and the flesh turned chewy and rich. Without moisture, they became immortal, sugar acting as natural armor against decay. Their preservation secret lies in duality: dry outside, syrup within. This perfect balance keeps them safe for decades, even in harsh climates. Jujubes were once medicine, offered to travelers for strength and to ancestors for peace. Their sweetness carries warmth, believed to calm hearts and grant longevity. Every festival, wedding, and ritual includes them, red gems symbolizing life that never fades. Today they're steeped in tea, cooked into porridge, or eaten as quiet snacks on cold nights. Their flavor, soft, earthy, honeyed, tastes like the memory of warmth itself. And as the last jujube rests in your palm, you realize, in Korea, food doesn't just feed the body. It keeps time, preserves wisdom, and proves that endurance, too, can taste beautiful. From clay jars breathing beneath the Korean sun to rice fields whispering through the seasons, Korea's food isn't just preserved, it's alive. But step across the Yellow Sea, and the story deepens. Before Korea mastered the balance of fire and fermentation, the Chinese had already sealed their wisdom in jars of black eggs, golden wines, and fruits that defied time itself. So here's the question: where did the art of eternal food truly begin? Let's open the Chinese pantry and find out in this next video right here.